So many of us have that dream, right? To be your own boss. You know, the freedom, the control, the idea of building something that is completely yours. But what if that dream, well, what if it becomes a trap? That's what we're going to dive into today. The massive difference between just creating a job for yourself and building a real business that can actually set you free.
So let's just start with the biggest question right out of the gate. You have to ask yourself this. You took the leap. You're calling the shots, but does that actually make you an entrepreneur in the way that really counts?
Because, and this is the key, have you just swapped one job for another? So many people leave a 9 to 5 to get away from a bad boss or a rigid schedule, only to discover they've built a new job, one that's even more demanding, with the toughest, most relentless boss in the world, themselves. And that's the core of what we're exploring. And this brings us straight to our first big concept, the self-employment trap. Honestly, it's a cycle that so many smart, passionate people fall into, and they don't even see it happening. They trade their 9 to 5 for a 24/7, and suddenly that dream of freedom, it starts to feel a lot more like a cage. So let's put a definition on it. It's when you pour all your time, money, and skill into a business that is, and this is the key word, unstructured. You're stuck in this loop where your personal hustle is the only thing keeping the lights on. That means when your effort is inconsistent, guess what? So are the results. The whole thing literally lives and dies with you every single day. So does any of this ring a bell? Everything, depends on you. Your day is just a constant blur of putting out fires. Your income is a roller coaster of crazy highs and terrifying lows. Your whole focus is just making it through the month. You're not thinking about growth, you're just thinking about survival. The sources we looked at had a powerful name for this. They called it chosen slavery. And wow, does that hit home for a lot of people. Okay, so how do you get out of this? Well, it all starts with a huge shift in your mindset. You have to make a choice. Are you going to be a job owner or are you going to be a business builder? Believe me, they are two completely different paths and they lead to two wildly different places. And this table just lays it out perfectly. Look, over on the left, you've got the job owner. Their whole mindset is about generating income for right now. Their day is all about fighting fires. The business can't survive without them. But then look to the right. The business builder, they're playing a different game entirely. They're thinking about long-term wealth creation, strategic growth, and building a business that's driven by systems and a team, not just their own sweat. And this brings us to what might be the single most important distinction of all. Are you working in your business or are you working on it? Working in the business means you're the one doing the work. You're the technician. But working on the business means you're the architect. You're designing the systems, building the team, and creating the strategy that lets the whole operation grow way beyond what you could ever do by yourself. Okay, so we've diagnosed the problem, right? We know the trap. We know the mindset shift we need to make. But what's the actual plan? What do you do? Well, this next section is exactly that. It's the blueprint, the real, concrete steps to build your way out. It really boils down to these 3 pillars. Number 1, your business model has to be designed to scale right from the get-go. 2, you have to build a team of leaders, a second line of command, people who can run things without you. And 3, you need simple, efficient systems that make everything consistent. And let's be really clear about what we mean by systems. We're not talking about creating some kind of slow, clunky corporate bureaucracy. For a small or growing business, a system is only a good system if it's simple and actually makes things faster and more reliable. Its whole job is to create consistency, not add a bunch of complexity. All right, let's talk about the thing that keeps most entrepreneurs up at night: money. When you go out on your own, you step into a totally new financial world, and learning to manage it is absolutely critical for your survival, let alone your success. This is the big trade-off. It's huge. You lose that safety net, that predictable salary hitting your bank account every 2 weeks. And yeah, that can be terrifying, but on the flip side of that fear is an incredible reality. Your income is no longer capped. The ceiling is gone. Your earning potential is truly unlimited. In this chart, it just shows you that reality in black and white. One source talked about a month where they made just over $100. The next, maybe $6,500. This is the wild ride of self-employment. The highs are incredible, but the lows, man, they can be really, really low. So how in the world do you manage that chaos? Well, first, you just have to accept it. Stop fighting the unpredictability. Then, you control the things you can control, like make your personal spending as predictable and consistent as possible. That creates stability. And here's a massive mindset shift. Pay yourself last. You heard me. First, cover all your business costs, put money aside for taxes and savings, and then you take what's left. It forces you to think like a business owner building an asset, not just an employee taking a paycheck. And all of this leads to the final and really the most profound transformation. It's about shifting your entire focus away from just trying to survive month to month and towards building genuine long-term wealth. This quote just says it all, doesn't it? There's no point in taking on all the risk, all the stress of being an entrepreneur if all you're trying to do is create another monthly income for yourself. You can get that from a job, and it's a lot easier. The real prize, the whole reason you take the risk, is the chance to create true wealth. So what is wealth? In this context, it's an asset. It's building a business that runs like a well-oiled machine, with its own teams and systems, that has real value completely separate from you showing up every day. It's something you could one day sell, something you could pass on. That is the ultimate form of freedom. So, as we wrap this up, the question I want to leave you with is a simple one. I want you to look at everything you're doing, day in and day out, and ask yourself this. Are you just building a job to get you through today? Or are you building a true asset for tomorrow, one that can provide for you and for others long after you've stepped away? The choice and the opportunity is all yours. Thanks for tuning into this explainer.